We're back from break, and today's guest is Henry Montgomery, Chairman, CEO, and co-founder of Montgomery Pacific Outsourcing. Henry, on your resume, you have a wide executive background, from vice president of companies to president, CEO positions, and basically you started your own company. What was the difference of being an executive in a company compared to taking that leap or that step to actually start your own company and be responsible now financially, even though that's your background, financially, and responsible for all of these employees?
I was CFO of very, very large companies, Fortune 100 and some Fortune 200. They were all somehow they were very, very challenging. Many of them were turnarounds. All of them needed to have their financial organizations completely revamped and built, and their systems and procedures emphasized. So I did that for many, many years, and finally reached a point. In fact, it's funny, the bigger the company, the less I enjoyed it. So the last company, which was huge, was totally unenjoyable. You try to make a contribution, you try to be helpful, and you run into all sorts of strange things, politics in companies. You see people making decisions that are unsound. It just is astonishing. And there's more than just a little bit of dishonesty in these large companies. If nothing else, it's the way they present themselves to the public, and we've all seen that sort of thing. All of us who, are retired today, like myself, partially retired anyway. Our investments, we get disappointed constantly by the public companies that we are investing in. So I got tired of that, and I at one point retired and started working only with smaller companies, startups, emerging companies, where the spirit was so great, and it met my own personal needs for the absolute integrity and forthrightness and need to make a contribution, to provide a benefit to the company. And I just stayed with that. And then I started also working in as a director of major public companies, which I've done for 30-some years. That is another area where you can contribute to the benefit of the shareholders, and I've done that and very happily. So it's a very satisfying thing for me. Starting my own company to contribute to the well-being of smaller enterprises has been even more satisfying. And all these things, it's not that you get away from working hard, because you don't. You're going to work even harder, and of course the financial rewards are either zero or something south of that or north of that. That's not why you're doing it. It's just and you can build a company, you can provide a terrific environment for your employees. When I started the company in California, both of my now adult children were just graduating from college. And I said, gee, why don't you come work with us? My son, who was a philosophy major, said, I'm not going to work for you. So anyway, a year later, he had been a stockbroker, and the '87 crash hit, and I said, look, I need some help. How about coming to help? Well, all right, I'll come and help, but I said, well, I'll give you, $6 an hour or whatever it was. So,
well, you're so generous.
He wasn't. I mean, he was lucky. A philosophy major, had been a stockbroker with Hambrecht and Quist in Palo Alto, California. He's lucky I gave him an opportunity. The short story with him was that he stayed there for 17 years, became the president, and did a wonderful job. His sister graduated about the same time, and she was a marketing major, and I said, look, I need a little help. And she said, no, I'm not going to work for you, Dad. And I said, well, look, just come and help me out a little bit. But that was, she stayed with us forever. And today, she's the CFO for a company in California that is a client of ours. So I was even able to, with great difficulty, convince her that she should use Montgomery Pacific Outsourcing Services, and I will tell you, she's ecstatic, and she's a very candid person. If she wasn't, I'd hear that too. So that's part of it. I wanted my children to have the kind of straightforward, honest employment in a company with integrity. I didn't see that in a lot of my career, and so I am very pleased that that happened. And of course, we are, very close. And in fact, my son just visited me last week. And did you see him? Anyway, if I was at, he went to all the things last week at the university and the Entrepreneurs Foundation and stuff like that, the angel investors. So fun.
Thanks, Henry. We'll hear more about that after the break. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more on Greater Good Radio.